Nan Hogan, a native of Cratloe, County Clare, was an early member of Cumann, the women's organisation founded in 1914 with the aim of advancing the cause of Irish liberty. And Nan, it is believed, was the last member of Cumann to die during the Civil War. Yet sadly, she is largely forgotten, unknown and unrecognised. Her original home at Cahertygue, Rhinanna, is now the location for a runway at Shannon Airport. Nan was born into a Republican family on the 6th of May 1887. Some accounts state 1888 or 1889 and even 1899. She was a strong and independent woman. A marching drill was organised for the East Clare Brigade of the IRA in the vicinity of 6 Mile Bridge, County Clare. She defied the officer commanding the IRA volunteers when he refused her permission to participate, and so she conducted her own parade of Cumann members. As an independent organisation, Cumann had its own command structure, and Nan Hogan was not going to be bullied. On the night of the 1901 census, there are 6 Hogans listed in the Cratloe homestead. Head of family, Annie, aged 43, her son Michael, 23, Thomas, 20, Louis, 10, and daughters Kathleen, aged 9, and Lily, 6. There are 2 servants also listed, William Kavanagh, aged 35, and Thomas Bourke, 20. However, Nan Hogan was not present on the night. Nan was evidently a very studious lady. Her command of English is excellent, as evidenced in her letters home, in which she articulates the cruel and demeaning conditions she and her fellow prisoners were being subjected to in Dublin prisons. But we have yet to locate where Nan received her primary level education. We have researched the old register and the Rulla books in Cratloe National School, which would have been the nearest to her original home. We have tried Clonmoney National School and Cratloe National School. We had an indication that she attended as a boarder in the FCJ Faithful Companions of Jesus Convent, Bunclody, County Wexford, but could not find evidence of her there. That was until I gave a talk to 6th class St. John's National School, Cratloe, on Nan Hogan. After I left, a pupil suggested to Mr. Carroll, their teacher, that as she was a boarder, wouldn't she be listed in the 1901 census in Bunclody? The class had no luck finding her at first, until they discovered that Bunclody was named in all state documents officially as Newtownbarry up until independence. The FCJ's was originally located in the townland of Ballon Park and Eureka, who popped up on the census that night. At that address, only Nan and her sister Delia listed as from County Clare. After Nan's secondary education, she attended University College Sheffield in England and did a period of study under the prestigious University of Cambridge. She qualified as a teacher in 1910 in Salford Training College. In the 1911 census, Nan is located at St. Gabriel's Convent in Clevedon, Somerset in England, and her occupation is listed as teacher. It is believed she returned to Ireland in 1914 and taught in Dublin for a period. Her active involvement with the Republican movement began after the 1916 Easter Rising. By 1917, Nan was officer commanding the East Clare Brigade of Cumann and was recognised as a senior woman in Munster, involved in sheltering IRA men by organising safe houses, gun running, and it is reported famously transporting a wounded IRA volunteer to Limerick in a borrowed hearse during the Tan War. A handwritten account also exists of an IRA attack on the 18th of November 1920 on a group of British soldiers guarding a Royal Air Force plane that had crash landed in a field adjoining Punch's Quarry in Cratloe, not far from the present Radisson Blu Hotel. The aircraft was armed with a machine gun and ammunition, which the IRA were determined to capture. The soldiers lit an open fire near the crashed aircraft, thus giving their position away to the IRA volunteers. Private Alfred Speckman was killed at the crash site, and Private Maurice Robbins was also shot and died sometime later in Fermoy Military Hospital. One of the IRA volunteers was wounded in the neck, and Nan Hogan was called upon to assist. Using the family pony and trap, she set out for Limerick. With widespread military roadblocks in place following the attack, they were soon stopped. Pretending the wounded volunteer was her brother, she convincingly persuaded the military that her brother was so drunk he had better not be disturbed. He's soused, she declared. She got the injured volunteer into the county home hospital in Limerick, where he was successfully treated. With her family, Nan Hogan repudiated the Anglo-Irish Treaty and opposed the Free State. Her home at Moyhill House, Moyhill, Cratloe, County Clare, a short distance from Bunratty Castle, was a critical safe house for IRA volunteers and even was used as a place of detention when Brigadier General Cuthbert Lucas was taken prisoner by the IRA before being released. General Lucas was an affable character, and following his release is reported as stating that he was treated as a gentleman by gentlemen. Following the Salahead Beg ambush in County Tipperary, the first sortie in the War of Independence, Dan Breen, Sean Tracy and Sean Hogan, no relation, hid up for a time in Nan Hogan's house. The extent of the Hogan home being a safe house only became apparent in the 1950s with the rural electrification scheme. During the wiring of the homestead for electricity, secret chambers storing firearms and a false room in the attic were revealed. On the 11th of February 1923, an escape attempt by Republican prisoners was foiled in Limerick prison. The attempt involved digging a tunnel under the prison wall. A group of Cumann women, including Nan Hogan, were outside ready to assist the escapees. The women were arrested and Nan Hogan was imprisoned without trial in Cumann jail. The charge sheet states, attempting to rescue prisoners from Limerick jail on the 11th of February 1923. Later, Nan was arrested for a second time. The arrest took place in Ennis, County Clare during a military operation to arrest and detain Eamon de Valera by the Free State forces. Nan was arrested, charged with obstruction of Free State forces and imprisoned. Being found guilty of obstruction amounted to a criminal charge. This was to have a profound effect on Nan Hogan's future life. Nan Hogan was adamant that she was not a criminal but a political prisoner, and was so determined to be recognised as such, she was prepared to pay for that principle with her life. While in prison in Cumann jail, Nan shared a cell with Grace Gifford, a prominent Irish cartoonist, artist and Republican, and the widow of Joseph Mary Plunkett, one of the signatories to the 1916 proclamation. She became the subject of the much-loved ballad Grace, written in 1985 by the brothers Sean and Frank O'Mara and covered by Jim McCann and later Rod Stewart. Recently I became aware of the existence of an autograph book belonging to Nan while she was interned in Cumann jail. The book of 54 pages includes the signatures of the following inmates of Nan, such as Mary McSweeney, sister of the Lord Mayor of Cork, Terence McSweeney, who had died after 74 days on hunger strike in England in October 1920. Another autograph is that of Courtney Callaghan, wife of Michael O'Callaghan, TD and Mayor of Limerick, who was shot in his home by the Black and Tans on the 7th of March 1921. In March 1923, and in pursuit of her principles, Nan went on the first of her 2 hunger strikes. Why she came off hunger strike and went back on later in the year is unclear. Hunger strike was seen as an effective weapon against the Free State authorities. Following the second period of hunger strike, Nan Hogan's health deteriorated alarmingly and she was released from prison in a very emaciated state into the care of her family in Cratloe in September 1923. The church and civil records show that Nan Hogan married Timothy Foley from Ballynahinch, County Tipperary, in St. John's Church, Cratloe, on the 27th of February 1924. Timothy Foley brought with him a marriage dowry. This became an issue after such a brief period of marriage following Nan's death. Only 4 months after her marriage, Nan Hogan died. The death certificate gives the date of death as the 29th of June 1924 and certified the cause of death and duration of the illness and states hyperemesis gravidarum, 3 months, heart failure, certified. Hyperemesis gravidarum is a complication of pregnancy and no doubt would have been aggravated and severely compromised by the effects of her hunger strike. Because she was sent home to Cratloe to die, Nan Hogan's death was reported as from natural causes, and no facility existed to recognise the sacrifice she made, which no doubt contributed to her early death at the age of 37. In 2010, a small plaque was placed on her grave in Drumline Cemetery near Newmarket-on-Fergus, County Clare, and she is remembered in a small Republican memorial park in O'Brien's Bridge in Limerick. Nan Hogan more recently has been included in a large headstone at Brennan's Cross in Mealy, County Clare. With the unveiling of a beautiful memorial, Cratloe has honoured Annie Nan Hogan. Deserved recognition at last. A heroine no longer unsung.